Good morning, everybody. This is Lonnie with Borderline. Hey, we're out on a property today. We drove 2 hours to this. I agreed to this. I agreed to this job here last fall for a landscaper. When you drive out of town that far, basically 120 miles, 2 trucks and a trailer. When you're driving that far out of town, it really doesn't go by mileage. I know a lot of people will say, well, it's $2 a mile and so on. I don't look at it that way. My thought is we're essentially going to have 4 hours of drive time today. You're paying guys to sit in a truck. Your fuel, something happens to your vehicle, that's all on you. So let's say it's 220 miles or 240 miles, I think what it is today. $2 a mile is $500. That ain't worth it in my opinion at all. The way I look at it is, okay, I'm not sure if I charge a couple bucks a mile, it's going to pay for my labor, might pay for my fuel, things like that, but other than that, you ain't making any money. So the way I look at it, if I'm more than 20 minutes or 30 minutes away from my home, which is my shop, that is essentially the Bismarck Mandan area. Anything outside that, basically 20 miles outside that, is way up on the pay scale. The issue is with me, I shouldn't say issue, but the way I look at this is every hour that you're driving. So for here, we're driving 2 hours here, 2 hours back. I know what I can lay in an hour with this machine. You got set up and clean up and so on. But essentially, if I stayed in Bismarck and didn't travel those 4 hours, we start at 6, be on job at 7, be back at the shop by 11. We could easily have 400 to 500 feet down and not have to drive out of town. So, the amount of money by driving, the amount of money that I'm losing is what I'm looking at. Okay, so if I got to drive an hour and drive an hour back, I'm essentially at minimum losing 300 feet of curb I could have did in Bismarck in that same time. So on this particular job, and I'll show you, it's beautiful property, it's awesome here. We're on Lake Oahe. This is northern South Dakota. It's actually, we drove a long ways for this. Beautiful. It's a brand new home, and it's going to be an easy job. It's 350 feet straight colored curb, so that would be $7 a foot in Bismarck is what we charge for a curb that's just got a color in it. This is not stamped. This is all done by a landscaper. A little rain yesterday, so it's a little damp, but the guys are just pulling back the fabric. We're painting our lines and we're going. So it shouldn't be more than a couple hours to actually do this job. So here's the issue. You're driving 4 hours, working 2 hours. So you got to make this worth it. Can't go by footage on something like this. Okay, I have an idea what it's going to be in my head. $7 a foot, in Bismarck is what I charge for this. Again, it's not stamped. To come down here to make it worth it, our average gross in Bismarck that I want to gross in a day is $3,500. Okay, that's what I want to gross. Now it could be a stone job that pays really well. You only did 300 feet or something. It's one of those things. It's based on the gross. So to come down here 350 feet, I'm going to waste a whole day because when we get back, we're not curbing anymore. So it's $3,500. That works out to about $10 a foot. If they want it, great. If they don't, I can actually stay in Bismarck in less amount of time, make that or more without having to travel outside of town. Again, we're pretty fortunate here. We got lots of work and things like that. So if you were, not getting as much work as you wanted to, you're going to go do those jobs and charge them a little less. I understand that. We can't do that, or else, in my opinion, I am losing money by leaving. The saying goes, why leave $1 to go make a dime? Okay, that's the way I look at it. So anyway, I'll show you a little pictures when we're done here. Beautiful here. I mean, they got it's a beautiful house, great landscape and so on. The guys are just starting to mix, and hopefully we're on the road here in a little while. All right guys, see you later.